I'm sitting in my recording space right now, and I have promised myself that I would record something tonight. The fact of the matter is, I enjoy recording. I enjoy creating things. I enjoy being on camera. And as strange as it sounds, I enjoy hearing my own voice. It wasn't always that way, but now I enjoy the whole process. And that has taken an immense amount of growth to get to this point, a lot of changes, a lot of facing things. But tonight what I'm facing is a creative block. I've got dozens and dozens of ideas written down. Whenever I sit within this format, I've got nothing written. It's all off the cuff, but I like it that way. It allows me to evolve thoughts and see if I can create a circuit with what I'm sharing. And so I tried recording a few different things. And what I've landed on is this, which is nothing. I push the record button, and right now, I'm just going to see what comes. And to a part of me that wants to be perfect in an imperfect world, a part of me that wants to fit in when I never fit in, because I wasn't meant to fit in. That's the place it's surfacing. And I thought, well, why not capture that on camera? Why not capture that vulnerability on film? And why not put that out there? Because at least it's honest. Now, when you step into a place that is creating expansion or challenging you in some way, your body's going to do funky things, right? Your breathing's going to change. Your body's going to tighten up. Eye contact might get a little bit wonky. Your voice might shift. You might ramble. And when I'm sitting down, especially tonight, I felt this pit in my stomach. At one point, I was speaking to that part of me and just saying words of confirmation and affirmation. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to say anything. What are people really asking for presently? What are they looking for in the world? Whether they know it or not, what are they looking for in the world? And I would venture to say what people are looking for is honesty. They're looking for presence. And they're looking for something that is real. Something that is real. With social media and what is projected out there, we have this notion of perfection, right? Where it's stripped down. You don't see the person in the bathroom. You don't see the person at 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't see them with bags under their eyes, exhausted from lack of sleep. You don't see them at their worst. You see this polished version of reality. And with AI and generative images and everything like that, it's just creating more of it. To where this notion of perfection, which has never really existed, doesn't really exist, is not continuous, is not honest, because it isn't that way all the time, is what we're trying to ascribe to or trying to aspire to. So sitting with a pit within my stomach, one of the most easy things and one of the most difficult things to do was just to hit the record button and see what comes. And I think that is one of the biggest lessons I've been learning through my own healing venture as an adult and all the different things I've done up to this point in my life. If you've lived inside your head, which I have had occupancy there for much of my life, learning how to meditate in my early 30s, running a healing practice, discovering secrets and discovering mysteries that people have known since antiquity, but that we've forgotten, applying it to my life. But the mystery is this: you can game plan within your mind. You can see it from all these different angles, but you have to embody and you have to walk it. That's the challenge. You have to embody it and you have to walk it. And that's really the only way that the pathway is going to form. One of my good friends years ago, I would game plan with him. I would It would challenge his nervous system. We would take him into these ideas. We would script going back and forth. We would try things on. But he was deathly afraid of actually stepping into the arena or stepping into that space to face and actually do it in the real world. And he wasn't alone. In many ways, I'm still breaching that myself. And truth be told, we all are. There's a place that we are afraid to occupy, a place where we're trying to be perfect. We're putting more effort into it than it actually requires, because a part of us won't let go. A part of us is holding on. So that pit in the stomach, or that tension within the chest, or the racing mind, the racing thoughts, they're all programming, and they're all programming for survival. But it's very difficult to thrive when you're in survival. Very difficult. And when you're in survival, you get sped up. It's difficult to take up space. It's very, very difficult at times to allow yourself just to have a process and to give yourself the grace to be messy. One of the sayings my wife and I have to each other is, allow it to be messy. Just let it be messy. Let it be messy. Because at least something's happening. At least you're letting it come through. At least you're allowing. No, there's a part of me that has always wanted to plan. A part of me that's always wanted to control. A part of me that's always wanted to oversee. And it's a part of me that's never been in control. And I guess that's the irony. The places where we're trying to control are actually out of control. The places where we think that we're in control, we're not in control. It's only in the places where we've surrendered. It's only when we take the trust fall and do something that isn't scripted, do something that is slightly messy, imperfect, that we allow ourselves to step into something that approximates to perfection. I keep dancing around the word perfect because for most of my life I've tried to be perfect. And it's prevented me in many ways. It's prevented me from putting myself out there. It's been a guardrail or a shield. And the more I allow myself to be messy, the more I allow myself to be imperfect, the freer I become. Ironically, the more perfect I feel. I believe everything is a state, every emotion is a state, every feeling is a state. The emotions are not these hardened ideas that just originate within the mind and populate. They're actual states of being. When you're angry, when you're sad, when you're anxious, you're embodying something. It is actually telling you the temperature of the room, which is your body. It's giving you the forecast. And it's broadcasting to everyone else as well. So how can you be perfect? How can you be perfect when you're anxious? How can you be perfect when you're unsettled? When you're angry? When you're protective? It's very difficult. And so, in reality, we have to surrender into perfection. We have to see that we're actually in an ocean of perfection. That the whole universe is happening right now for us, with us, as us. And that we're not doing a thing to make it happen. You have trillions of cells and they're all moving in concert right now. Your heart is beating without a thought. The whole cosmos is in motion. And it's not because we're trying. It's not because we're forcing. It's not because we're doing. There's a poem that I wrote. And in the poem, I communicate that the Earth is like a galactic spaceship and we're sitting on top of it, on top of the world. And there's nowhere to go because it's already happening. in the galactic space cruiser. We're just floating within the cosmos. We're allowing ourselves to move and float in the air. It's in that space that we feel free. It's in that space we've truly open. It's in that space we've transcended the tightness inside of ourselves and moved into a state that allows for the perfection that already is to be, so that we can experience it. So this perfection that I've been seeking my entire life has never been outside me, and has always been here for me to realize. But there's still that thought that nags inside that says, if I do it this way, if I try more, if I stress more, if I hold on to more anxiety, if I tense my body up, somehow it will outpace the perfection that is all around me, and I'll shine. And what I have to say to that part of myself that keeps tightening up is, the perfection is already around you. It's here for you to witness. All you have to do is settle into it. So I want to thank you for being here with me in this space, vulnerable as it is, extemporaneous as it is, nothing written, nothing scripted, just seeing what comes out and enjoying the ride as I get there. One of the reasons why I create these videos is because I want to discover my own voice, and I want to share it with the world. The world is and can be a very noisy place. I'm not meaning to say that in a negative way, but it can be. And the way to discover your voice is to allow it to move freely like a river, to move into a quiet place and allow it to flow. And in these spaces, I'm reminded time and time again, it isn't really what's being said, but it's how you're saying it. It's the state that you're occupying. And that's what brings everything into that feeling of perfection, which is a place where the soul can finally just settle into the body and where we can breathe and enjoy the lives that we have. So thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you.